Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
Keep all the good work
the
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys. Hello, lovely people. Hope you're well and welcome back to another match preview. This time it is Crystal Palace versus Liverpool, Selhurst Park, 2 p.m. kickoff on a Sunday, and I'm delighted to be joined by two Crystal Palace guests. I've got Nate from Eagle Eyed Football and I've got D from Back of the Nest. Boys, how are we doing this afternoon?
Yes, excited about the game, honestly. Normally you shouldn't be excited, but I just got something in me that we could potentially do. Like, we could potentially cause an upset on Sunday, but it's not going to be easy. But looking forward to the game and seeing your recent game against Arsenal. It was all good, but you know what, on our day at home, which is the key for me, at home we are very good, and that's what I'm looking forward to at the most.
Agreed. Obviously, D, we worked on your channel and we had a little chop up, so I know your thoughts on the game. Mate, I'm going to get yours, but I want to ask a few questions first and foremost. So I want to ask you both, and this is going to hurt me, but I've got to be fair to you guys because you come on the show. What's your favourite Crystal Palace win over Liverpool at Selhurst Park? So, Nate, I'll start with you.
It's got to be the 3-1 Jedinak free kick.
I remember that.
Got to be that one because, granted, it's one of my namesake, no relation whatsoever. Neil Warnock, no relation. Just get that in there. But purely because it was one of those where I don't necessarily think we played well to win it, but obviously you give any team an opportunity to score a free kick in that, you should be winning games with free kicks like that. Obviously, people love to point, but I think that's the only win at Selhurst Park we've had since we've been back in the Prem, as far as I can recall. I don't think we've. I think it's three wins at Anfield.
Yeah.
And 1 win at Selhurst Park, and then the rest is just it's not been fun at Selhurst. But to be fair, at home with us, normally it's just like Liverpool at home, just get it out of the way, just don't worry about it, and focus on beating Norwich and these man. That's calm. That's where we normally look at. But with this is like we've only lost twice at home this season. What's going on? Normally we're dreadful at home. What's going on? I don't like this. I want to be miserable. I want to be miserable going into home games. I don't like this positivity. It's not good for my health.
Exactly. The expectations are high back. Callum, I'm going to bend the rules. As Nate said, we don't really win at home, but winning away from home, we've done that a couple of times at your ground. And I'm going to go for ruining Steven Gerrard's party. You know, that was great. What else have we had? We've had, Velasco going crazy on lock.
Effing Crystal Palace. Klopp had his little meltdown
away from home. So I think ruining Steven Gerrard's party was fun, and we haven't, to be fair, recently we haven't got that. I can't remember the last time we beat you at Anfield. It's been quite a while, but at home we don't really beat you as well, to be fair. But on a Sunday, I think someone put out a stat to our group chat, and they said that on a Sunday, some weird stats. I hate stats like this because it's not like the players tomorrow are going to think, oh, it's a Sunday, I'm Crystal Palace ready. we haven't lost against Liverpool like that. We don't frequently. We play a couple games on Sundays, and I think there's like one recent loss. So yeah, I don't know if that means anything, but it's out there. But in terms of our best game, it has to be away from home because we don't really beat you at home, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. You see, obviously Gerrard, he's my favorite footballer of all time. I'm not saying he's the best of all time for anyone kills me in the comment, but he's my favorite footballer of all time. You see that day when you guys beat us, it broke my heart. I was devastated. And you know what really sticks out to me about that game? I remember after the game, Jason punching, going up to him, hugging him, and just almost like apologizing for ruining his day. And I was just like, bro, you should have just taken the L for us then, innit? Like,
what's the point?
Why didn't you just let him win then, bro?
But the funny thing is, the last time...
We ruined so many moments. We ruined so many moments for you guys. A 3-3 at home, Crystal Steven Gerrard's party. I mean, I don't know why it's always you guys, but it's happened so many times in the past. I think Liverpool fans, it's quite surprising in a way that you guys don't actually hate us. Because honestly, if Liverpool done the same thing to Palace, I would just be pissed off every time we play each other because it's like, what's gonna happen now?
Yeah, I'll be real with you. Again, I'm slightly biased when it comes to this because, as you guys know, I'm born and bred in South London, and I'm a stone's throw from Palace. I've got friends who are associated to Palace, so I've always had a little bit of a soft spot. But there was a little period where I was like, I wouldn't mind seeing these lot go for a little bad patch because they always. There was a period where every game we played, you were just beating us or you're taking important points, and I was like. I remember you guys beat us in Klopp's first stint, his first season.
Yeah, F and Crystal Palace. I remember that.
Who was it who got the winner? Was it Scott Dan, innit?
It was either Scott Dan or Balassi, one of the two of them.
No, Balassi got the first. Balassi got the first goal. Scott Dan got the winner. I was at that game.
Yeah. Scott Dan, the Scouser.
Yeah, exactly. And then there was a game where you guys beat us 2-1 where Benteke got a brace. And I was thinking, hold on, Coutinho got a free kick in that game and scored. And I was thinking, what's going on here? Like, why are we losing to the team that's closest to me where I'm getting grilled by friends of mine? Like, what is going on? But that
was when Sacco did his handshake with Benteke, innit? That's when Sacco really burnt his bridges at Anfield.
that day was when I was like, yeah, he's not coming back.
Yeah, he's got to get dash out.
He's gone now. But no, if I'm gonna be honest, my favorite win at Selhurst Park is probably it might be the 2-1 where Salah gets the winner. So Mane got the first goal. You guys went 1-0 up. Mane got an equalizer. And then the ball came over and Salah took a touch and Sacco actually tried to dive in front of the ball to head it. And he's knocked it in with his right foot. I think this is back in 17-18 season. But it was a tough game. Oh, sorry. Actually, it might have been last season, the 7-0. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say that. I was waiting for you to say that, but I'm surprised you didn't say it.
It's bad. I actually forget about the 7-0 sometimes because of how bad our season turned out after that. Because if you remember, we beat you guys 7-0 and then we just went on a slide after that. It's like we just...
Yeah, they couldn't score for love or money.
Nothing. So that game, yeah. How did you guys feel about the 7-0? I'm not even trying to take the mick here.
How do you answer this, Nate? How do you feel about 7-0 defeat?
You know what it is?
I mean,
I felt worse when we lost 4-0 at home to Sunderland. Because losing to Liverpool at home, all right, cool, it's Liverpool, you can just move on. Yeah, the scoreline hurt. Looking at the scoreline, it was like, I can understand 4 or 5-0, cool, but fucking 7. Roy, get your coat, mate. Bugger off, right? Cool. And some of them players needed to be held accountable as well. A lot of people were trying to attack Roy about it. I'm like, Patrick Van Aanholt, mate, now, leave and don't come back. Yeah, you ain't welcome in South London no more. No, but this is at the time when he was playing for us.
Yeah. But now, have you seen what he's doing in Turkey? They're having the worst season, Galatasaray, in their history in the Turkish league.
Yeah, but that's the PVA tax, bro.
Exactly, yeah.
PVA tax, bro.
That's what I'm saying. He went there and it's caused that as well. But that 7-0 defeat, in a way, I think Jurgen Klopp spoke about it before the game as well, and he said how it was one of them games where we just literally managed it. Whenever we were in front of goal, it was just a goal. Like we didn't. It wasn't like we absolutely like dominate. Of course, you dominated us, but it wasn't that. It wasn't really a 7-0 type of game. You just very clinical in front of goal, and we had a couple of opportunities that we could have finished as well. That 7-0 and that season under Roy, pretty much. It was too dull. Like after the 7-0 defeat, I should be very frustrated, but I feel like my headspace was, we lost. Like it was just, I'm bored of this kind of thing rather than I'm disappointed. It was the same thing over and over again. Not 7-0 defeats, but the players weren't in it. The manager was doing the same thing over and the same thing week in, week out. So it was like, what was the point? So that season was very, very hard, especially with COVID as well. You couldn't go to games and you're just watching at home. You're thinking like, what is the point? What am I actually watching when I know the result and the lineup 2 weeks before it actually happens?
Yeah. I hear you. Obviously, guys, if you're watching, please do smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, but also in the description of our YouTube video, make sure you go and check out the channels of D and Nate. The links are there. All you got to do is click on the link, subscribe, show these boys some love. They've come on our channel at the last minute. Please show them the love that they've shown us. So make sure you support them as well. And guys, look, Crystal Palace aren't direct rivals. We can, support these guys. So please do. So D, you spoke about Roy Hodgson, and again, as a Liverpool fan, I know what Roy Hodgson's about. I mean, I would say he steadied the ship for you guys, but he just plateaued. You now have got an Arsenal legend in Patrick Vieira, who's leading the team. From the outsider looking in, you guys are playing some fantastic football. You're looking like a really good team. I enjoy your brand. I enjoy the way you attack. As Palace fans, so Nate, I'll start with you. As Palace fans, how refreshing has it been to see Vieira come in, and what do you attribute to his success so far?
Well, the fact that he wasn't the first choice helped him, because obviously when his name came out of the mire of Twitter, where you're hearing about Favre, Nuno Espirito Santo, you're hearing about a couple of other names were booted about, like Steve Cooper, and that, you're like, okay, Vieira wouldn't have been my first choice. But see, people often focused on his last couple of games at Nice, where it all fell out. The season fell out of its arse, really, and he lost like 9 in a row or some other things like that. And I'm thinking, French football's not a great barometer to determine how good a manager is. Bear in mind, the man that we all were blustering for in Favre, Vieira finished higher than him. So this nonsense of, oh, Favre is so experienced. Cool, he's experienced. But Vieira, who's a younger coach, who hasn't had, for want of a better word, endless resources to spend with, he got Nice into the Europa League twice in a row and finished above where Favre finished off before Favre went to Dortmund. Don't get me wrong, I would have taken Lucien Favre and snapped a hand off for him if he was available. He chose to cut out at the last second, and Vieira's come in. After we lost to Chelsea in the first game of the season, you're like, all right, cool, Chelsea away 3-0. Not really fussed about that. London derbies and us don't really do that well anyway, so it wasn't like, oh, great, another London derby lost. This is just great. But the Brentford game, we should have won because we were expecting to win, but it was what it was. West Ham away was the turning point because people were trying to compare Vieira to De Boer, and I'm like, no, come on. Whoa. I get that we've got another big name ex-football player. I get that we've done that again, and people want to make it comparisons, but the second that Vieira got a point at Brentford, it was like, oh, wait a minute, that's one more point than De Boer's got. Gallagher scores twice away at West Ham. Vieira's got 2 goals scored. That's 2 more than De Boer. So very quickly, people stop trying to compare the two. Yeah. Then he goes and patterns Spurs. Granted, Vieira and Spurs, you just knew he was going to turn up for that. And you're thinking, okay, cool. Since then, even in games that we've lost, be it at home or be it away, I've never been like, oh, that's the season done, we're getting relegated. I'm like, no, next game. Like we won 2-0 away at City, we lost to Leeds. I went, that's Palace. We'll go away to the champions and pattern them, and then we'll lose to a team that's sailing headfirst into the championship.
Yeah.
So my fear was when we played Norwich, it was like, watch Norwich are going to turn up and have a masterclass today. Luckily for us, we put them away 3-0 handily, but it's like, this is the kind of team that we're known to F up against. Like, please not today. Because you saw Norwich beat Watford last night.
Yeah,
like,
handily.
That could have been us. That could have been us.
Handily. They packed Watford in. D, what's your thoughts on Patrick?
Well, you know what? Of course, he wasn't the first choice, as Nate said it. But when he actually joined the club, I was looking forward to it because I like the underdog mentality. Palace have been the underdog team throughout the history. When you look at 2010, just being as a football club, staying as a football club, we were going through hard times then. And then 2013, when we got promoted, everyone was saying we're going to get relegated. We managed to stay up there. So we've had that underdog mentality. And what I like most about Patrick Vieira is that I cannot lie and say that I have watched this guy's team at New York and in France, but lots of neutrals wrote him off based on nothing. You haven't seen this guy's team play. And I wanted to get behind him and back him because I've looked around, I've seen what type of football he wants to play. And that's the type of football that I want at Palace. That, we're going to be on a front foot. It's more of a modern football, which we haven't had for maybe Frank de Boer tried it for like 2-3 games. That's it. So I like the appointment like that. But exactly. Even if you call that modern football, I'm not too sure. But when you look at our season so far, this season for me was always going to be a transition season. We're going to have to adjust with the new players, new style, and there's going to be ups and downs. But so far this season, we've been unlucky at times, and sometimes we have had poor performances. Look at the Brighton game most recently. It wasn't a great performance, but we still managed to pick up the point. But one thing that I love about Vieira that we haven't had at Palace for a long time is that regardless of the result, if you're 2-0 down, if you're 1-0 down, the game is not done. And the players truly believe that. And we've seen it so far this season against Leicester at home, 2-0 comebacks. We've seen it in lots of games. Even West Ham
at home.
It was about to do the comeback like that. And that mentality there, it might not win you the games. It might not pick up your points like West Ham. But in the long run, it is 100% going to help us. That mentality there is elite. And it comes from a manager who wants to win, who has won, and he's got the respect from the players. And I think that's the key thing about Vieira for me. Going forward, he can attract players. And also these players look up to him saying, all right, this is Patrick Vieira. We are doing well. We can do better, but let's get behind him. And I think he's got the full support. And that's the key thing.
Completely agree. And again, as someone who's managed by Klopp, we know when that change in mentality happens, you almost see it overnight. You see the players grow. For me, it was the Barcelona game where it was like, yeah, we can achieve anything under this guy. When that happens, a switch goes off and it just becomes like, yeah, we're untouchable. We can do this. Obviously, I'm not saying Palace are going to be like Champions League winners and like we're in a fortunate position in terms of what we can attract to the club and stuff like that. But you'll see performances, just the attitude around the club just raise, and it really does change things. I want to speak about a couple of your players though. And Mark A in the comments, shout out to Mark A. Elise, sorry, £8 million. Eze was something like £6 million, or was
16.
16 million pounds. You're acquiring some very good young talent and it's going under the radar. Do you think it's going to be your business model going forward for the foreseeable?
I think that's what Dougie Freedman wants to do, though, as a sporting director, because the one thing that we were known for was trying to take it back a little bit, like the likes of Alan Pardew, Ian Wright, and that team came from essentially a lot of non-league clubs or very lower down the league clubs.
Yeah.
So like Mark Bright, for example, wasn't getting a look in at Leicester City. Now, obviously, you go back on Mark Bright's career, you're thinking, how the hell did Leicester not give him a chance, knowing what he was going to go on to do? Ian Wright had trials all across the southeast of England, couldn't get a look in. Famously, he had a trial at our friends on the south coast. They rejected him, and they chose some other geezer that couldn't score for toffee. Then they go and see he rocks up at Palace. You're thinking, wait, isn't that the kid that we stopped playing for us? And then Ian Wright had the career he had playing for us, Arsenal, England, and the likes of it.
Yeah,
I think because we've always signed those experienced players like Milivojevic, Schlupp, Riedewald, well, not so much Riedewald, but like Schlupp, Milivojevic, Kiyate. We've always Tompkins, for example, all good Premier League level signings that will keep the club in that chasing pack of trying not to stay in the division, but trying to bring in younger players with a bit more flair, a bit more unexpected unpredictability. That's what got us into the Prem. Because Balassi and Zaha in that promotion season, you didn't know what they were going to do. We didn't even know what they were going to do.
Yeah.
So if we you know,
we didn't love when they came up to the Prem either. But
yeah, but listen, Dejan Lovren and Mamadou Sakho must have been separated at birth, because you can see why they were both awful defenders. But with Freedman, I think because obviously he was manager that season, and then it all kind of unraveled, and then he came back. The whole thing, we recently opened our brand new academy up next to our training ground in Beckenham, and that's a big deal because we got Cat 1 status, I think, a year or two ago. Something like that.
Yeah,
but to get Cat 1 status for a club like us, where previously, if Liverpool wanted, let's say, Jezza and Raksaki, all you got to do is pay a paltry fee of 500 grand. There, he's yours. Whereas now we can say, well, wait a minute, he's potentially worth 2 million to us, and then it goes down between compensation packages. So the important thing for us is we need to implement our youth, which I'm not sure if any of our players are just ready yet. Obviously, you've brought through the likes of Trent, Cade Gordon, Nico Williams. You've managed to blood through a couple of youngsters that can add, pocket. We all know Liverpool fans, you included, Callum, have bemoaned FSG's lack of spending. It's like, are FSG related to Mike Ashley? The money's there, they're just not spending it.
They've spoken more about. Mike Ashley spent more of his own money than FSG has.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? Like FSG are not known. Like FSG are far from short of a couple of quid. But because obviously we're in a position where we can afford to blood youth in, and it's not like youth aren't expected to win us trophies. So it's not like they've got to be world class. They've got to be hit helter skelter. All we need to do this season and in our recruitment is just basically look around for players that aren't quite favourable. Like Balassi, for example, at Bristol City was warming the bench. Now, you think about Balassi, you're thinking, why was he warming the bench?
Yeah, that's mad.
Yeah.
You know, we got rid of Darren Ambrose, brought in Balassi, and you're thinking, is this guy any good? We saw it, was like, whoa, this guy's explosive. Because between him and Zaha, we didn't know what to expect. So we were like,
Crazy.
we don't know what to look for. So how are other teams going to cope? And obviously, it all panned out in the end that we got promoted, got to an FA Cup final, and then Balassi got sold for 28 million. So we made a profit on a player we signed for peanuts. Like, how are we signing him for 750 grand and making 28 million back off him? This is wicked.
And in hindsight, he should have stayed with you guys. In hindsight, obviously he got a bad knee injury, which really, because he started off at Everton quite well, but after the knee injury, he never really recovered.
Yeah, the knee injury did him in.
He still has, but he's always had a rocky relationship with the Everton fans as well. And it just seemed to get worse and worse. And
he's all right with them now, I think. He's all right with them now. I've seen him on Twitter go to a couple Everton spaces and listen. I think they like him. I think they like him over in Everton. They realise it's not really his fault, is it? I mean, what can you do about getting injured? And this might sound harsh, but it was we done the business right at the right time.
Yeah,
I mean, if we didn't sell him then we might have been in a similar situation. It's one of them things. It's due to luck. Balassi, he wanted that move because he wanted to play at a higher level, which is understandable. And it didn't quite work out for him one way or another. I don't think it was due to his talents. I think it's just due to the issues off the pitch, really.
Yeah, agreed. Right. So obviously we've got the games to talk about now, boys. So I'm going to ask you guys, who do you think will start for you guys tomorrow? So obviously no Kouyaté, no Zaha, no Ayew. Have you guys got any other? Is
Ayew back? But I don't think. Yeah.
So he was meant to take some time.
Party,
No, he was meant to take some time. I don't think he's gonna do that. That's not Jordan Ayew. But what's it called? He was actually meant to take some time off. Vieira said take some time off, but Ayew said no, and he said I'm coming back. so he's back for this game. But I doubt he will start. I doubt he will start for us. But he should be in and around the squad.
Any other injuries or?
James
McArthur's out injured.
Yeah, McArthur's out injured. Is Tompkins back? I think he might be out.
I think Tompkins is back, but Tompkins has been on the bench lately. So I think Tompkins is one of those where he's just going to be on the bench in case of an injury to Joachim Andersen or Mark Guay. Yeah. Martin Kelly somehow is somewhere in the spaces around there. He's somewhere. He's probably in the canteen, just chilling in the canteen.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought he'd really kick on when he went to you guys. I had a soft spot for Martin Kelly because I think he got sold a bit prematurely, in my opinion. But he just hasn't kicked on with you guys for love nor money, has he?
He's been out of club for like 6 years. Am I right, mate? Wow, since maybe more than 6 years, exactly. So it's not really a case that he's joined a club and he's always been on the bench. He has played games. But it's just the manager for him. If I mean, with Vieira, I don't think he will suit Vieira's type of football. And also, how old is Martin Kelly? I'm not even too sure myself because
30 something. But with Martin Kelly, obviously Pulis brought him in, and then Pulis pretty much ran away. Yeah. Literally days. I think the day after Martin Kelly signed, Pulis had resigned. So he's gone through Neil Warnock, Alan Pardew. Who else was there?
No.
Neil Warnock, Alan Pardew, Sam Allardyce,
and then
Frank de Boer, Roy Hodgson. We've gone through a series of managers where Martin Kelly's been in and out of the team. I mean, Martin Kelly's only scored one goal for us, and that was
in the FA Cup,
in the FA Cup away at Spurs when we got to the Cup final in 2016. And because it was Martin Kelly, it's like, why the fuck is Martin Kelly up at the other end of the box? This guy, what?
Exactly.
If that's Damien Delaney, fair enough, because we knew Damien Delaney had a goal in him because he was one of those old school centre backs where he's not the most Rolls Royce of defenders, but he'll do a job, and he made Diego Costa his bitch. There's a great picture of Costa backing away from Delaney. Like, you don't mess with men from Cork, mate. Think of Roy Keane, you know. But with Martin Kelly, it's one of them where he's actually been the best Liverpool signing we've made because he cost us $1.5 million. Whereas Benteke's been okay, but there was a period where you were thinking, how is this guy still our club record signing? That's actually heartbreaking because I feel for him. It's not like I don't think he's a good player because we know he's a good player. At Villa, he was one of the best players outside of the top six for goals. But Mamadou Sakho, on the other hand, it's like the lone Sakho. Yeah, I wanted him at Palace. The Sacco that we bought, it's like, did we sign Bakary Sacco and put him in centre back again? What's going on?
No,
very
but
easy
it was
to as
injuries
well.
though, Nate. Wasn't it? That's the main problem with Sacco. When like the second time around, it was him being injured constantly, just like Tompkins as well. We had injuries for both of them. When they were both playing together, we were actually solid. But when when and if, but they weren't playing together like that. That was the main problem.
No, definitely. But what I'm trying to say is that with Sacco, like Benteke is still here at the club, and he's popped up with a goal every now and again. Although his penalty miss at Bournemouth still hurts to this day. Because it's like, mate, why would you do that? It's literally the 90th minute to win the game, and he just completely spoons it. But you're looking at it thinking, there's players that we have now, like Elise, as Callum has said. You're thinking, how have we spent 24 million on these two? I don't understand. I'm delighted we have. Because somebody said to me, "Oh, you must have spent 20 million on Elise." Not even close, mate. Not even close.
8 million.
So that's the joy of the Championship. If Dougie Freedman can look around and find players for peanuts, because you're thinking he could do a job in some of the like top 8 clubs. I'm not necessarily saying that he'd touch like yourselves or City, but you're thinking Arsenal could do with a Michael Elise because they're putting faith in Odegaard, who's okay, but I think he's still on loan at Arsenal. You're thinking you need a player that's going to be permanent at Arsenal to take pressure off Smith Rowe and Saka. Elise can do that. Now, I'm not saying that Elise can start ahead of Pepe and then, but it's like 72 million on Pepe.
I was going to say,
you paid 2 million more for Pepe than you could have for Zaha. But okay, that's cool. That's cool. That suits us. No problem.
Yeah, they'd have been in a much better position now as well. So, who do you guys see starting tomorrow? D, I'll come to you first. Who do you think will start the game for Palace?
Mate, I don't know about you, but goalkeeper is interesting. The goalkeeper position. Jack Butland after the Brighton game. I mean, can you drop him from that? I'm not too sure. But then again, Butland and Vicente. I guess Liverpool's going to press us. And who's better on the ball? I'll probably give it to Vicente because Butland's distribution against Brighton wasn't that great. But his all-round performance was, like, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that's probably one area that he was a strong guy. But for me, you can't really drop Butland. If you drop Butland, I mean, when is he going to get the opportunity? He made a mistake against Millwall, which could have been very costly. But in a way, it's helped him because he had to take that. You just had to have that mistake to learn from it. And we managed to win that game. And he redeemed himself the next game against Brighton, another big game as well. So for me, you should start Jack Butland, but some people are saying Vicente should start. In terms of defense, I'll say Wardy will start there. Joe Ward at right back, centre back Joachim Madison, Mark Guay, and left back Tyreek Mitchell. Nate, you don't want Wardy to start?
I don't want Joe Ward at the football club, let alone starting, mate. There comes a time when it's time to say goodbye. Come on, legend, mate. He ain't in the same category of Jim Cannon. Let's calm this legend business.
Like, yeah, it's not up there, but it's still what he's done for the club.
Listen, I'm not saying I don't appreciate that he's been here since the very start of the promotion campaign, but it's been well known we've needed a new right back for a while now because Ferguson.
Yes.
I don't know if Ferguson's still alive. I don't know if he's still even here.
He should be back. He should be fit. He should be fit, but that's ifs and buts. My thing is, we need a new right back. That new right back could be Ferguson, but if it is going to be Ferguson, give him time now because, God forbid, but what if Ferguson can't do at right back at this level because of injuries or whatever? I don't want to go into next season with no right back again. So for me, it has to be Ferguson. I'll put Ferguson in the deep end for this game. I would, but I don't think Vieira is going to do it. I think it's going to still be Joel Ward. I trust Ward to play. It's just because Ward's constantly getting exposed by teams on their left or right hand side. You're looking at it thinking, okay, as much as Ward's quite clearly not got the pace to match the Jotas and the Firminos and these kind of players, that's fair enough. Ward's never been a player with pace anyway. So I'm not sat here mystified as to how Joel Ward can't run fast as some of the players, but you're just thinking, it's kind of abuse though. Like he's got to try and somehow keep up with one of the fastest players in the league. And bear in mind, he's not marking Sadio Mane, so it's not like, oh shit, because Mane ripped him a new arsehole at Anfield. You know what I mean? Now, to be fair to Joel Ward, he's got that defensive now where he doesn't necessarily have to. That Wan-Bissaka was brilliant at chasing people down and clearing the ball. But the issue with Wan-Bissaka was it was always a last-ditch tackle. It was never
right, let me just wait until he makes that move towards me. Then I'll go for the ball.
Yeah.
And that's where, when we saw 45 million coming in, we were like, we'll take that. Thank you. And we've seen what happened to Aaron. It's like, Aaron, why?
Yeah.
You know,
Went to the
don't
wrong
get me
club.
wrong. He has to. I hope he turns it around, because he shouldn't really be getting thrown out already. It's like, you do realize you lot had Raphael playing for you lot a right back at one point. Like, let's not give Wan-Bissaka a chance to redeem himself here. Like, come on. Like, you've had Raphael and Fabio. Like, you could have the Bella twins there. More important, they would have done a better job than them too.
And in midfield as well.
Go on.
Sorry, Cam. Shall I continue with the lineup? So in
Yeah, that's
midfield,
what
I don't know about
saying
you, Nate,
midfield.
but I'll say Gallagher and Will Hughes, they start for me. But the one player
100%.
that doesn't start for me is Schlupp.
Nope.
I don't think he starts in midfield. And who goes in for Schlupp? That's another question. Can Eze play in that role? Do you put Eze there, put Edward out wide? Because I can give you my lineup prediction, but if you drop Schlupp, who fits in for Schlupp? Does Luka come back in? Like what do you do with that midfield three to make it work?
But that's for you, Nate, bro.
No, I'm here. I think the thing is,
that's what I'm saying. This is like a Pythagoras theorem type of thing that you learn at school. It's like, what is going on? Like, he's trying to do the calculations because it's not easy. What do? Do you put Eze through the middle, or do you start Gyro? Do you start Luca? If you start Luca, then Will Hughes pushes more forward.
Okay, pause. D. Any talk of starting Gyro or Luca needs to be binned immediately. That's not happening.
All right, cool. I'm just giving the options, isn't it? I'm just giving the options.
No, so I know what you're saying. It's just, you have to remember, I've seen Luka Milivojevic masquerade as a midfielder for the last 2 years, and I'm still mystified as to how he's our club captain.
I've seen that as well.
I'm still mystified. It's like, captain, yeah? Captain. We've got other players on the pitch that could probably do a better job, including our goalkeeper. But look, if you really had to make me... let me finish. If you had to make me pick, I would say try and play Eze as a CM. Now, it's a risk because he's not really familiar with playing that far back, because he's normally an attacking mid. But we don't have MacArthur. If MacArthur was available, it'd be MacArthur, Hughes, and Gallagher, because MacArthur would be cleaning up behind Hughes and Gallagher, because the two of them would be doing the forward passing. MacArthur's brilliant at letting Gallagher have the license to run amok around the midfield and cause havoc in the defence. But seeing as I don't want to see Jeffrey Schlupp in midfield, because that's like watching. That's like us when we played Ward in midfield against Tottenham when Jason Punchin missed that penalty. It's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, it's not working. Like we tried it, it's not working, bro. Like,
was Keith Millen drinking? Was Pulis drinking? What's going on? Was they drinking before they got to the game? Joel Ward in midfield. It's like, oh Lord, wow. Now, I'd play Eze in midfield because we don't really have many options there. I mean, Gyro, yeah, kind of, but the thing is, are we getting the Gyro that can hit an absolute screamer like away at Newcastle, or are we getting the Gyro that looks lost every time the ball's passed to him?
I think Gyro's done. I'll be honest with you. Like, if I thought under Vieira he's gonna, that it's now or never for him. Under Vieira, the type of football that we're trying to play on the ball, that's what he's meant to be good at. But he still doesn't get the time. Like Lucas still gets.
And he came from Ajax as well, so he's used to passing. He's used to possession football.
Exactly. So if Luke is getting put ahead of you, then your game is done. So I think as midfield three, we'll stick with Will Hughes, Gallagher, and Eze, and then on the left put Edward there. Or I don't know how. I know on the right, Elise, and up front, JP or Benteke.
Oh, JP. I've been leading an anti-Mateta agenda, to be fair. So me saying this shows you how I'm willing to give this guy a chance, because I'm thinking, okay, he scored against Millwall, so I've got to give him credit. If you can score against Millwall, that does give you a credit. He got a good goal against Norwich at home as well. So it's like, okay, there's a player in there. If I can see more of him, I'll drop the agenda entirely. I'm not unwilling to change my view on a player, but the fact that he wasn't getting game time consistently under both Hodgson and Vieira, I was like, this guy ain't the one. Send him back to Germany. because it's not fair on him to just be sitting on the bench all the time when clearly there is something about him that bear in mind, his first goal for the club was an absolute ridiculous goal because he spun two seaweed defenders at our friends on the South Coast, Callum. When I say seaweed, he made the two of them. They didn't know what happened. It was like Matea's got a bit of techie about him. All right, cool. Benteke. See, I don't know. Are we getting the Benteke that can score or the Benteke that might score? Because I don't know which Benteke turns up half the time.
JP probably deserves it more, but it's still a strong lineup. Like that lineup, there's some. When we look at individuals, Edward out wide. That's when we've probably seen the best of him at Palace out wide rather than front of goal at this current moment of time. Even though in the future, I think he should be more suited to go in striker, but that's a story for another day. I think Elise, he's very good on the ball. He can cause you guys problems. That's going to be an interesting battle there. Conor Gallagher. I mean, Callum, we've spoken about, you know how much I love this guy. We've spoken about him so many times. I mean, you have to stop him. If you stop him, then that will be big for you guys. But yeah, we've got talent. We've got talent over the pitch. Look, I mean, we haven't got our strongest 11 maybe, but in defense, Mark Way, he's solid. Joachim Madison can pick out the ball if you guys are pressing us. So it should be, you know what? It should be a better game. We should play bit better than how we did when we lost it 3-0 at your ground. Even in that game, we weren't too bad, but it was set pieces.
You were quite unlucky
We've
in that
improved on
game.
set pieces as well. Yeah, we improved on set pieces as well. So in this game, I'm expecting, and you don't have Mane, like forget about Salah. Mane, who loves, when I'm talking about loves a goal.
Because
Southampton, Liverpool,
9 and 9.
Yeah, so the Mane alone makes me happy. Like if he's not there, all right, we might have a chance. So you know what? Like, it should be a good game. Honestly, it should be a good game. Now saying
and then Naby Keita scoring the most ridiculous of volleys. It's like, mate. Don't get me wrong. Take nothing away from it. That was a hell of a finish, and I wasn't even sat there going off. I was just like, I should be pissed. I should be swearing absolute sailor talk right now, but you take nothing away from goals like that. You just, you know what? Fair play, Naby. Fair play, Naby. That's a hell of a goal because he deserves it. Because I've seen a lot of Liverpool fans. Some of you would jump on him and say he's rubbish. He's this. He's that. I've seen man like Matt constantly say, "Sorry, who got that assist? Who got that goal?" You know what I mean? So when people are so giving up on a player, it's like you do realize Naby Keita actually he was bought for a reason.
Yeah, he's quality, but it's just whether he can get him fit enough throughout a season. That's his problem.
I know. But you know what I'm saying, Cal? People are quick to jump with like one bad game, and all of a sudden, this guy's trash. He wins you the game in the last minute. He's the best thing since sliced bread. Play him every week. Rest it's like, oh, wait a minute.
No consistency.
Like, I know that because I've said that with Mateta. Last few months, I've said, why is he still here? Send him back to Germany. But he's come back into form lately. And I'm like, do you know what? As much as I hate to admit it, fair play. He's proven me wrong. And if he's proven me wrong, I'm going to hold that corner and say, do you know what? Fair play. I got it wrong. I'm not even remotely afraid to admit when I'm wrong. It's just, I like being proven wrong. If I'm proven right, I'm like, well, I told you, this guy's dead food.
Yeah.
Like
we've had Yaya Sanogo on loan. I said, he can't be worse than Yaya Sanogo, for Christ's sake. Please tell me he's not as bad as Yaya Sanogo.
You guys have been through. I'm not gonna lie. Some of the players you've named today, you've been through. I've got to rate the
the glow up. Yeah.
Listen, when you've seen Adi Akinbaye play for you, you just know you got to get through it. Just keep your head down. For every Akinbaye, you get an Andy Johnson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's crazy. It's one of those where you got to have a crap striker, then you get a good striker. Like we've had, who was it? Adebayor, but we had a Glenn Murray. We got Glenn Murray off them lot on a free, and 30 goals later we got promoted. It's like we didn't pay a single penny for this guy, and they paid $2.5 million for Craig McHale-Smith. Who?
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean? So you're looking at it going, you know what? I'm quite happy to have a Glenn Murray because 30 goals on a free. You can't argue with that.
Yeah, true. From a Liverpool standpoint, so I think we're going to go Alisson in goal, Trent right back, Robbo left back. I think we'll see Kanate partner Virgil. I think Matip will get a rest for this one. Fabinho, Henderson start. I think Jones will be the third midfielder. And then up top, on the left, Bobby through the middle. On the right-hand side is a tricky one. I don't think Gordon will play this game. I think it'll be a massive, massive game for him. And with the atmosphere, the intensity you guys play with, I think it would be a much bigger challenge than the Arsenal game. It's either Taki or Ox. I think if Ox is fit, I think Ox starts ahead of Taki, but I don't know if he is. So I'm going to go Taki for now. But if Ox is fit, I think Ox starts. Sorry.
Well, Cal, you got to remember playing Arsenal away. There's no atmosphere, so no wonder Kay Gord treated it like his dance floor.
Yeah, it was comfortable.
Like a
now,
training
bear in mind,
when
But see, when they drew with us, Lacazette last minute, did they win the league?
Yeah.
Is that how big we are now? Last minute equalizers against us, we win the league title. Okay, cool. I'm cool with that because it happened in when we played Demlot. Mopai got a last minute equalizer. He said, did you win the league? Oh no, you couldn't even go top 4 because you didn't beat us. And their manager still hasn't beaten us. It's like, mate, you couldn't beat Hodgson Ball.
As well.
Yeah, but that I don't know. I don't want to talk too much on that because that's a bit sus. What I'm saying,
he was just trying to shoot your family stand. Like, what's going on, bro? Like, there's little kids there. Like, what are you trying to?
Put it this way,
little kids in front of you. Like,
Mopai wouldn't try to do that against the Kop or the Homestale. Let's be practical here because you try and shush the Kop, you're deservedly getting pelted.
Rough, yeah, it's gonna get rough.
You can try and shush the other end of the Anfield Road stand or the main stand or the Centenary stand. Cool, do what you got to do. But mate, try go for the Kop. Try go for the Stretford end. Like there's certain ends of grounds that you just kind of know. Listen, careful.
Yeah,
because like certain people, like what was it? A few years ago, Punchin scored at the Kop. I remember somebody was saying, why was it? Because he did that cover his nose thing to tell him I'm going to put it. That was me saying he's doing that because they don't want him to know where he's putting it. You're thinking, if this is at the Anfield Road end, he's not going to get too much pelters. But because it's at the Kop, you're like, mate, but to be fair to you, like, how you lot cope with Mignolet in goal is beyond me. It's like, this guy's the Belgian Wayne Hennessy.
Harris is
Wayne Hennessy. You talk about Mignolet. We had Wayne Hennessy. How do we cope with Wayne Hennessy for all that time as well?
We had Karius, guys.
No. Hold on. As bad as Karius was, nobody compares to Wayne Hennessy. This guy dropped the ball underneath his legs and in the back of the net.
Oh,
my days. Mate, Karius had a clanger, and God love him, that was hard to look at because obviously in such a big game, he's never going to be forgotten for what happened. But you're like, you can forgive that. Granted, not because it was obviously a Champions League final, but in hindsight, you can go, all right, that could happen to anyone. It could have happened to a world-class goal. It could have happened to Dave from the Dog and Duck. You're looking at it going, Hennessy, you've literally dropped it out of your hands and let it go into the back of the net through your legs,
free kick shuffles that always happen as well. Them just shuffling to one side and just leaving another side completely open.
He did that against Trent. I remember him doing that against
Trent. He's done that many times, Carl. He's done that many times. Trust me.
Trent's seen that and said,
so much.
All right, I'll take that and pop into the back of the net. You're like, mate.
So easy. It's so easy. It's like the goalkeeper shouldn't even be there for free kicks. But
right. Before I get your score prediction, I'm going to read out some of these super chats. So Shaq says, yes, we can. Won't be easy, but we definitely can. That's in relation to the question, can we beat you guys at Selhurst Park? Shout out to John who says, hi, Callum and Nate and Dean. Palace 1, Liverpool 3. Good score prediction. I hope that comes true. P. Al says, where do you rank Vieira compared to previous managers? And do you think he could become an elite manager? So that's for you guys.
Oh, this is easy. When you've had to suffer Tony Pulis, Alan Pardew, Sam Allardyce, Frank de Boer, and Roy Hodgson, Patrick Vieira is clear of every single one of them.
Yeah.
So it's not even a contest. The only thing I would say is if Vieira is given the length of his contract, possibly an extension, if he does well, let's say next season and potentially the season after that, provided he's still here, you never know. Now, obviously, we're still in the FA Cup, and depending on how the draw falls for us, if we get past Hartlepool in the 4th round, again, if he gets a favourable cup run and we're still comfortably in the Premier League, you never know. But the one thing that we failed to capitalise on when we got to the final in 2016 was our cup form was great, but our league form suffered. Because at Christmas that season, we was 5th. You're thinking, what the hell are we doing in 5th place? What the?
It went downhill after that in the league.
Do you know what I mean? Balassi gets injured away at Stoke. And all of a sudden, we start going from winning near enough every game, or close to every game. We were picking up points here and there. All of a sudden, down, plummeting.
My memory ain't great, but remember Swansea away from home? 5-4?
That was the season after.
That's the season. Oh, jeez, yeah. Hey, we're Padre. You brought us to the cup final. We nearly won a trophy, but in a league, he was there for longer than he should have been. In all honesty.
Yeah, but you see that cup final darts. That's what he's going to be remembered for. Because mate, why? When Punchin scored, because I was on the other side of Wembley when he scored it. I was just like, he's missed. What are you idiots celebrating for? I didn't see it hit the back of the net from where I was in the top end of Wembley. Then I'm seeing across from it, it's saying goal. But I'm just saying, I don't know. But yeah, Vieira. Look, if you'd have said to me we'd be 12th in January, we haven't needed to go into the January transfer window as of yet because we haven't signed anybody for our first team. We've signed, I think, a youngster from Ireland, from Drogheda. So obviously living in Ireland, I was kind of thinking, okay, I don't know too much about because I don't really watch the league over here, but I've heard that he could be one for the future. I was thinking, okay, cool. But normally, come this end of the season, we're constantly thinking, we need signings. Now we're like, no, we're cool. Yeah. We're waiting on players to come back more than going, we need this player, we need that player, we need this, we need that. We're just thinking, can we just get to the summer window and then start replacing players in this team that we need out, like Milivojevic and the like. So, yeah, Vieira's done exactly what we never expected, which is we're comfortable and we're playing better football than I think we've seen since we got promoted. Just like, we can play football? Is that a thing? So we're not lumping it to the big man 50 yards down the pitch. Oh, thank Christ. Because I used to get neck injuries watching us play football.
Like, Jamie Phillips, Football Chat. Shout out to Jamie Phillips. Go and check out his channel as well, please, people.
Yeah, big up, Jamie. He was on our show last night.
Yeah, he's saying great show last night. Thanks for letting me on. At Liverpool 2, Palace 0. Right, so I'm gonna go 2-0 Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys saying?
I already said my score prediction yesterday. So
yeah.
I'll say again, I'm gonna go 2-1 Palace. Why not, man? Why not?
Hey, listen, no risk, no reward. No risk, no reward, mate.
Yeah. We treat every game as though we should go out there to win. That's what I love under Vieira. Like, there's no game where we're saying, oh, it's City, oh, it's Liverpool. Let's take. No, we can beat City, we can beat Liverpool on our day. So we're going to treat this game, and we're playing at home, and that's the key thing. So Selhurst atmosphere on Sunday is going to be rocking. We've got quality players, as I just mentioned, in the starting lineup, and I think you guys are missing some key players, which is the key as well. Yeah. Everything combined together, it's not going to be easy. I won't be surprised if you guys beat us 2-0, but as a Palace fan, under Vieira, I have to be optimistic. So I'm going for 2-1. I'm going for 2-1 Palace. Why not?
Yeah, same here. Look, I'm logically expecting us to lose tomorrow. I'm not even remotely trying to kid myself and think, yeah, we can smack them, we can get a 7-0 and get revenge, the rest of it. No. Me personally, I've said, okay, look, if we can ride out the first 20 minutes at 0-0, we've got every chance, because if Liverpool score early, the floodgates could open. Now, I'm not saying that we can't bounce back from that, because even at 1-0 down, like Leicester, we were 2-0 down, you're thinking, okay, we're still in this. We came back to claw 2-2. But I'm thinking, I don't particularly have any pressure on this game, because it's much important that we win against the likes of Norwich and these kind of teams, because they're the teams we're expecting to take points from. But having only lost twice at home this season to Aston Villa and West Ham, I'm thinking, at home, I've got to fancy us to catch something, be it a point, be it 3, I don't know. I'd take a point if you offered it to me right now, whether it's a poxy own goal off Van Dijk's head that smacks off Alisson's face in the back of the net. I'd snatch your hand off it. But if I'm being realistic, I'm going to say a 2-1 Liverpool, because Liverpool need to keep pace with City. And if they beat us, it doesn't end our season losing to Liverpool. Had we lost on Friday, just gone, then I'd have been really upset and be like, no, forget this. The season's done. It's trash. It's this, it's that. We've got results in the 2 biggest games of our season back to back. So I'm not really thinking, oh, crap, we have to get something at Liverpool. If we do, excellent. If we don't, meh. I can't be like, oh, for F's sake, we lost to Liverpool. It's like, we lost to Liverpool. Great. Just move on. We've beaten City, for Christ's sake. It's like, we're always due a big win against one of the big 6. Because last 2 years, we went to Old Trafford and won 2-1 and 3-1. You're like, we won at Man United away again.
Leave us alone, though. Do it to the rest of the big 6. Just leave Liverpool alone. That's all.
Oh, well. After that 7-0, hold on a minute. Nah.
It's a revenge season.
You understand?
Revenge season.
And with no Salah and Mane.
Exactly.
No, listen. Look, I hope Liverpool do well this season. I'm not. I don't want other teams to unless it's our friends on the South Coast, because I'd love to see them relegated. As much as I rate Graham Potter, just seeing them in the champ would be like, oh, they're in the championship now, wicked. But I'm not going to lie, it's going to be very difficult for us to get anything, but that's what you want. You don't want it to be easy against the big boys, because a sign of our progression is we can not necessarily match Liverpool, but obviously the game at Anfield, Klopp said that's the hardest thing he's had as a manager. That's great praise for us, because it's like, okay, wait a minute, we gave Liverpool a game. The scoreline looks convincing. You're like, okay, 3-0 against Palace, routine, standard, you move. But I'm thinking, no, I've come away from a defeat to Liverpool thinking, Jesus, we were a bit unlucky there.
Yeah.
As opposed to, oh crap, it's Liverpool away. 4, 5, 6, possibly 9-0. Because if it was Roy Hodgson, it could have been 14 bloody nil. It's like, mate. Because with Roy, it was literally, leave the points at the front door, don't get off the team bus, and just let Liverpool do what they want. Let them do what they want.
I used to enjoy those days. But boys, gotta thank you so much for joining. Tell the people where they can find you, Nate, and how they can support you, bro.
Yeah, find me at Eagle Eyed Nate. I'm also on Eagle Eyed Football. Please give us a subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, where Rich from Eagle Eyed Football will be doing a one-chip challenge. He tried to talk me into doing it, but he said he'll do it. So he's the one that's going to be holding the heat. But you can find me on Eagle Eyed Nate. I'm occasionally on D's channel, Back of the Nest. So occasionally you'll see me jumping across. Some of his boys have come over to ours. So there's always a bit of space for everybody. So follow Eagle Eyed Football, subscribe to Back of the Nest, and of course, always subscribe to Team Kop-Ish, because the boys have got some serious content coming out. So you can find me on Eagle Eyed Football.
Perfect. And D, where can the people find you and support you, bro?
Yes, Back of the Nest. Nate, as Nate said it, sometimes we go over to their channel. They come over to our channel for the match reactions as well. So we'll be hosting it as usual. So you can find us there at D Palace on Twitter. If you want to see some controversial Palace opinions. I don't really tweet as much, to be fair, anymore.
Oh,
he's muted.
Yeah. Still on mute, bro. You're still on mute, bro.
I don't know what I said. I said controversial. You hear that? Palace opinions?
Yeah, we heard that.
Yeah, all we heard was controversial.
Stop going back. Exactly, yeah. So yeah, I'm on Twitter if you wanna follow me there as well. I'm Back of the Nest, and as I said, Nate, we both go on our channels as well, a couple of guys. So if just feel free to subscribe to both of us for Palace content.
Yeah.
Nice. And guys, as I said, in the YouTube link description, check out their channels as well. All you got to do is click and you can subscribe straight away. Couple of shouts in the chats. Big up to Dave's LFC's chats. Make sure you go and subscribe to his channel. Jamie Phillips Football Chats. Make sure you subscribe to him and our brother Saint LFC TV as well. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow with some sort of content. Not too sure yet. Might have a little surprise for you, so stay tuned. Hoping for a win. We'll definitely be back for a post-match. Massive shout out to Nate, massive shout out to D, and after tomorrow we'll be friends again. But until then, going to thank you guys. Stay safe, stay blessed, everyone. Smash the like button till we see you again. Take care.